Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more Paranormal Files with us here on Mouse Reacts on Mad Inc. If you want to check out the original video before we make commentary on it, do check out the link down below for the original video clip from their channel. Also, check out the links down below if you wish to find more, like our other channels, our social medias, and last but not least, our own merchandise. Where you can find yourself some Pleasant Dreams shirts and other merchandise as well. So thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, as you all have been helping out the channel tremendously. We are we're somewhere in the 60 people mark before we finally hit the magical 1K. So thank you all again for joining us. Hope you continue to watch the content and continue to join us for more. And here is another visit to Baraboo. Apparently the Files crew is yet to leave Wisconsin, and they're visiting a place named Sally's house, due to the fact that apparently a spirit named Sally still resides there. Let's go. Let's hit it off. Short one. It's not quite 2 hours long. Welcome back, folks. January 2025.
On tonight's episode of the show, we're here in Baraboo, Wisconsin, at a house once lived in by one of the founders of the Ringling Brothers Circus. So it's time for a night of fun under the big top.
Well, you might think you got me insane, but I make you this ain't.
And this house has some absolutely incredible history that we're about to walk you through, and one distinct spirit in a haunted room with an incredibly tragic life story.
Well, you might think you dropped you really all know this ain't my first rodeo.
Yay for creepy clowns.
So join us tonight on the Paranormal Files as we dive deep into another circus-themed paranormal investigation. We're incredibly blessed to be here. We're so thankful to have everybody out there watching. I'm your host, Colin Brown, and welcome to the Paranormal Files. I'll just have y'all introduce yourselves.
I'm Julie Hurley, co-owner of Ringling House Bed and Breakfast with my partner here, Stuart.
Yep, and my name's Stuart Kaler. We both met in Madison, of all places, and it's kind of a long story that we could save for another time, but we ended up looking for a place to start up a bed and breakfast, and we ended up here in the Ringling House. So this house was built by Charles Ringling in 1901. He was one of the five brothers who started the Ringling Brothers Circus. He's this young, handsome man right here in the center.
Right in the middle.
Of the five brothers who started the circus. So it was Al, John, Charles, Otto, and Alf T. were the five brothers who started the circus. Charles built this in 1901. He lived here for about 13 years or so, and then sold this house to his younger brother, Henry, which is a kind of tiny picture of Henry right here. He was the youngest of seven brothers and the one daughter. He sold this house because he built another house in Evanston, Illinois. His kids were going to school there, so they wanted to be closer to their kids. They also built a huge mansion in Sarasota, Florida. So this is one of the three homes that Charles Ringling built in his lifetime. Like Julie said, we kind of tell a little bit of the history of the Ringling before they became famous. And this is a picture of the father and the mother, Henry and Marie Salome Ringling, so that were the parents of the Ringling brothers. They emigrated from Germany, actually came through Canada, and then down to the Milwaukee area. Moved up here to the Baraboo area. August was a harness maker by trade, so we opened up a small shop here in Baraboo. Was down on 3rd Street. I think there's a plaque down there that shows where his shop was.
Yes.
Baraboo was not a very big town at the time. There wasn't a lot of things going on in Baraboo. So August was looking for a place to move his family, that he could earn enough money to support his family. And that city turned out to be McGregor, Iowa. They moved their family down to McGregor, Iowa. They stayed there for about 11 years, and 4 of the brothers and the 1 daughter were born in McGregor, Iowa. And that is where the kids got their introduction into the circus. That was where they saw their first circus, was in McGregor, Iowa. It was a traveling circus that came and stopped in McGregor, and of course as they were unloading the animals in the wagons and whatnot, the kids ran down to the waterfront and watched them unload them. Amongst those kids was the Ringling boys, and Al, who was the oldest, kind of offhandedly remarked to his brothers, "Boy, wouldn't it be neat if we started our own circus one day," you know, and kids kind of agreed. We know kind of what happened down in McGregor, Iowa, because Alf T, right here, he actually wrote a book of their time in McGregor, so of course we read it and we found out a lot of information about what they did in McGregor. Again, another kind of a coincidence, I think, is one of the circus employees actually stopped in August's shop. August had a harness shop down there in McGregor as well. He stopped in to get some harness work done, and August looked at the work and he said, it's an easy job, just come back in an hour and I'll have it done for you. And so the circus employee came back and got to work. He says, "Well, how much do I owe you?" And August says, "It was such a small job, I'm not even going to charge you. It's going to take me longer to write the bill out than it did to do the work. Just take it and hopefully it all works out for you." Well, of course, he was very hard-working man, not the best businessman, but you know, I think his kids outshone him in that area after a while. But the circus employee felt a little guilty, so he said, "How about if I give you some circus tickets? I'll give you some comp tickets to the circus, and you take your family there, and hopefully that will cover whatever the cost of the repairs were." So he did that. He took his family there. And the kids watched the circus and immediately fell in love with the circus. Kind of made a little boyhood pact that said they were going to start practicing their circus trade. So they started learning different things. Al started learning how to juggle and how to balance things, you know. And both John and Otto were kind of clowns. They were kind of more like vaudeville kind of performers. Charles and Alf T learned how to play several instruments, so they became very well versed in playing instruments. So they practiced all those different things and decided they were going to give their little performances for the neighbor kids. So they set up a little tent with sheets and benches and whatever, and they did their little spiel as practice. And as time went on, they got better and better.
And they would charge pins to get into their circus instead of money. So if you go into your mom's sewing kit as a kid, you know, you could probably take out a few pins without her noticing it. But they would charge admission however many pins to get into the circus, and they would collect the pins, take them to the hardware store and get something for trade or money or something like that. And I'm sure that the hardware store loved those little Ringling boys, because eventually the mothers had to come back and buy their pins back. So,
and we surmise that it's interesting when you study words and languages, and there's some terms. There's a PERN, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called pin money, and that's kind of related to the pin thing, because of course, most women did not work outside the home. They worked, they were homemakers and whatever, but they would save out a little bit of the money for some personal savings, and guess where they would stash it? They would stash it in their sewing kit, because they knew the father probably wouldn't look in there, so that was where they stashed it. So that's where the word pin money came from. So as time went by, of course, other cities started becoming bigger and starting having more opportunities for people and families to prosper there. So McGregor kind of was losing its luster a little bit. The other towns had roads, and railroads were starting to come up to move stuff. So now they had 7 sons and the 1 daughter plus themselves, so 8 mouths to feed, and McGregor just wasn't cutting it as a town. So he looked around again to see where he could move his family, and ended up settling on Baraboo again. Because Baraboo during those intervening years became a lot more important town than it was previously.
Yeah, the Chicago Northwestern Railroad found a path through the bluffs and was going to build a main depot here with administrative buildings. So August thought, anything involving transportation, he thought, well, maybe it's a good time to move back to Baraboo. because they had family here. Marie had 2 sisters that married into family, and they were living
Some
here
first
in
cousins
McGregor.
here, yeah. So they moved their family back up here to Baraboo, and of course the kids now, most of them are adults. The exception was Henry right here again. He was only about 14 years old when they moved back up here to Baraboo. And they had been practicing their circus, vaudeville show kind of for quite a few years now. The kids looked around and said, I think this is as good a place as any to start the circus. So that's what they did. So in 1884 was the first performance here in Baraboo. If you drive by there's a legal office called Pemberton in England right on Broadway next to the post office. If you look in their front yard, you can see a little monument, and that's actually a marker for where the first performance was for the Ringling brothers. Of course, it was kind of a rinky-dink show at first. I mean, it wasn't fancy.
Al, throughout his travels, he was learning the ropes. He was the oldest. He went out and he did trapeze work and juggling work and stuff, and he was trying to really learn the ropes of the circus. And he met this guy called Yankee Robinson, and they teamed up to form this first circus that they did. And I'm told they had some mangy old dog they painted to look like a hyena, and hand-sold tents and homemade bleachers and all kinds of stories of maybe part of the tent blowing away during one of the performances. Maybe not the greatest show on earth yet.
So so they struggled for quite a few years, probably 10 years or so before they finally were able to earn enough money to be able to build homes for their families. Once they could travel by train, they could enlarge their circus, and they could go farther and go to bigger cities and stuff. So they were able to amass again enough money to build homes for their families. And 4 of the brothers here built homes in Baraboo. The first one was Al. Second one was Gus. Now Gus we don't really hear that much about because he was not one of the 5 brothers who started the circus. He was kind of a naysayer. He was kind of a skeptic. Didn't think the circus was going to be successful, so he kind of stuck with his father's harness making business. But eventually his brothers convinced him to come and join the circus, so he came and actually was an employee rather than an owner, but he made enough money to build a nice house up on 8th and Birch, which is still there. The third person to build a house was Alf T. That's this guy right here. He was...
Show him the house too.
Yep, and he built this house up on 10th and Oak, which is a very nice house. He was the advertising guy, so he went ahead of the circus and did all the advertising, did all the posters and all that kind of stuff.
Put all the pamphlets out and stuff.
And the last person to build a house here was Charles. Again, he's in the center there. Charles built this house in 1901. So now we have 4 other brothers who built homes here. We have Al, we have Alf T, we have Gus, and we have Charles. Unfortunately for Al, I guess, he looked around and to dismay, he found that he had the smallest house of all the brothers. So of course that couldn't stand, right? He had to have a bigger house than the rest of his brothers. So he said, I'm going to show everyone I'm going to build the biggest house in South County. And so that's what he did. So he built the current mansion, which is this one right here. The house here itself was about as modern as you could get at that time. It had indoor plumbing, it had indoor heating, it had electricity, it had gas, it had a fire suppression system,
nice.
It had an intercom system. Eventually had an elevator that Henry put in 1915.
Dang.
So it was the top of the line as far as homes were concerned. Lots of people ask about this hallway and some of the components of the house. If you look at the wallpaper is actually the original wallpaper from the house. It's kind of unusual because it actually has a brown kind of a craft paper kind of backing, and then the image was actually painted on. So if you rub it or if you try to clean it, you actually rub the image off. So
be careful.
it had some of those spots and some discoloration when we moved in, but we a couple of years ago we had it restored, so it's kind of back to the way it was. So that's really cool. It looked in 1901. The finish, all the woodwork here is all original. The flooring, the woodwork, everything is original from the house when it was built in 1901. Lots of people ask about the color of the wood, and that is not the original color. Gene Ringling changed that in late 50s, early 60s. That was the vogue at the time, was that blonde colored wood or whitewashed or bleached. There's a lot of different names for it. We wanted to keep up with the time, so she had it all restained in that lighter color. You can debate whether you like the color or not, but it's probably going to stay that way. The house,
Jordy,
of course, the first floor
is that
generally
color,
was for
so it's gonna
entertaining,
stay.
and for guests that came in. The second floor generally was for the family, and that was where they had their bedrooms and sitting room and that kind of stuff. And if you're talking about different, sometimes why homes, bigger homes that have a parlor or have a common room, part of that is because there wasn't no such thing as funeral parlors back then. If you had a funeral for your loved one, generally it was in your house. And I think they had 3 funerals in this house for various Ringlings that were here. So, sometimes something gets left behind after they're here. And some people you can detect it or not detect it, or different things. So yeah, so the Ringlings that were here were displayed in the parlor in there.
Let's move into the parlor. Then turn this on. We have like one piece of Ringling furniture in every room. So this is Henry Ringling's old Victrola.
Nice.
Gonna wind it up before we can get going. All right.
I love those.
So cool. And then this
Volume control.
volume control.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll just let it run
Got
out.
that from a Ringling Circus World employee. Actually had it given to him as a payment for some work that they did here, and he had it actually restored and had
Nice.
it in the work area where they work on the wagons at Circus World, and somehow we convinced him to donate it to us. So here it is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The house has 4 fireplaces, 3 down, 1 up. They're all original. Everything is original on as far as the woodwork and the marble that's in the fireplaces themselves. Originally, it would have been coal
Okay.
or wood fired. We just have electric inserts in them now. And that's the parlor. The ceiling is original ceiling. They're plaster ceiling, so that's all original to the house. And there's also one in the music room.
It's so cool.
this is the music room, and Edith was an organist, and Charles played multiple instruments. He played the violin and the trombone. And the story is that after every party, they would come in the music room and start singing. And this is Henry Ringling's Steinway grand piano. It has not been taken care of over the years, so it's probably not something you really want to play. But, it's here for a showpiece because it's got history in the house here. And when Jean Ringling did the whitewashing, she did it to the Steinway as well. So
That's interesting.
The color, yeah.
yeah, it's all got to match, This mirror above the fireplace, that's also plasterwork with gilded over it. This piece used to match the fireplace, but Jean Ringling did a little remodel, and she took away some parts of this fireplace that made it match, like the columns and stuff. There were columns here at one time, but so it doesn't exactly match anymore, but still
But
part of the
you
house.
look at the
part of
dental
the
molding
history.
up there, that's what the little squares are. You can see it matches up with the fireplace.
Right.
You can see it matches up there. So they did a lot of custom work, I guess you want to call it. The carpenters could do that kind of stuff back then. And so they like that kind of matching kind of coordination, kind of
Sure.
symmetry.
Should we show them Charles's houses there?
Yep, I'm going to show those two. So this is our little picture wall of homes. These are pictures of course, of our house as it is today. Before the boys built homes, of course, they had to have some place to live when they were in Baraboo. And the picture up there of the hotel is the Warren Hotel, which was on the corner of Oak and 4th back then. And so that's where the Ringlings stayed before they built homes here. They stayed up on the 3rd floor, so there was a suite of rooms for the Ringlings to stay when they were here. The hotel caught fire in the mid-60s and was demolished, so it's not here anymore.
No.
But that's where they stayed originally. Another couple pictures of our house. This is a picture of Charles's home in Evanston, Illinois, if you were wondering what that looked like. It was for sale a few years ago, I think, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. I think it sold for $3.5 million, so it's a little nicer than our place here. But these two pictures here are of Charles's home in Sarasota, Florida. So this is a kind of it's actually the back side of it, the front, but the back faces up to the bay, which is right here. So you can actually see.
I'm gonna go in here. In here, I guess. So this is the library, and this was actually added to the house in 1904. I think the brothers were sort of trying to do the one-upmanship because Alf T decided he was going to have the biggest house in Sauk County, and he made a big addition onto his house with a big ballroom and a pipe organ.
Pipe organ, yeah.
And then Charles decided to add on to this house and build the carriage house and the big covered porch in the back. Mm-hmm. And that was when Al got the bug up his butt that he was gonna build the biggest mansion in Sauk City, or in Sauk County. So that's when he built the big red sandstone mansion. And along the wall here, these are all people that have lived in this house over the years. So Charles and Edith, who built the house, and their son Robert and daughter Hester. And then this is Edith's mother, Mrs. Conway. And Charles built a little house for her that faces 9th Street on the property when she became a widow. And then Henry Ringling, this is his bride, Ida Ringling, with her granddaughter, Sally. And then they had a son whose name was Henry. And he married Jean Ringling, who did the remodeling in the house, and they had 2 kids, Sally and Henry again. And then poor Henry died. He was only 23 years old in a car crash right up here on Highway A. So it was kind of a tragic thing. And then this is a wedding picture of Sally with her husband Richard. Now, Sally kind of had a tragic life. Her father died when she was young, and she was kind of a daddy's girl. She was more of a tomboy, I believe. And her mother was very proper, so I think they butt heads quite a bit. And then she lost her brother when he was only 23. And then she was engaged to a Formula One race car driver who died in a car crash before they were married.
I see.
And then she married an RAF pilot, Richard Clayton Jones, who did crop dusting in Jamaica because they had a house there. Mm-hmm. And he died in a plane crash. So,
Goodness
yeah,
gracious.
I know. And I think after that, Sally was done. And Sally, I think, may still haunt this place. Mm-hmm. And I've had some experiences in Sally's old bedroom, which I'll show you.
And another picture of Charles's home here in Sarasota Bay. Of course,
and that's
yep, and that's a yacht that he had. Both John and Charles had yachts, and they had. That's another thing that they tried to outdo each other with. Is one would get a yacht, and another one would get a bigger one. So then they had to get a bigger one. And John's loaned it out to some dignitaries, and they sunk it. So then he had to get another one, of course. So he get a bigger one than. Charles's.
But Charles's yacht was kind of true to his musical abilities. He called his yacht the Sinfonia.
In addition to just the homes that they built here, that was the reason that they came down to the Sarasota area. But while they were down there, They started up buying up thousands of acres of land down there, so they both started up huge real estate developments in Sarasota. John bought up more of the coastal area. So if you've ever been to Bird, Longboat, or Siesta Key, those were owned by John Ringling. He owned all those 3 keys, and he developed those as real estate developments.
Built his own highway to get out there.
Yeah.
Built a hotel.
Charles kind of more concentrated on more of where the current downtown Sarasota is. He bought up a golf course, and he bought up where most of the downtown is now, and started real estate developments there. He built that hotel, which is still there. There's a couple of hotels that Charles built. They formed their own bank down there. They had their own bank, and they built several roads and whatever to connect their properties. So I guess it's kind of the ultimate Horatio Alger story in a way, because of course they started doing their show for pins, and ended up being some of the richest people in the United States. In the 1920s, John was the 13th richest person in the United States, and Charles is in the top 25. So they were in that Vanderbilt, Carnegie, Rockefeller level of wealth.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the circus they were in, because as Stuart was alluding to in Sarasota, they would buy up land and develop it, and they would make money that way. And John Ringling had ranch land in Montana and oil wells in Oklahoma, and he was part owner of Madison Square Garden, which is where they open the season every year. So, yeah.
Yeah, so they made the most of their lives. They died relatively early, I guess, in modern terms, because John was the oldest, and he lived to be 70, and 70 in the 30s was old.
Yeah, that was pretty old.
Charles Jolliman is 60, 63, I think, or something. Same with
I was saying
Al.
in the 20s and 30s, you're lucky to get past 40.
In their 50s. Henry died when he was 48, so pretty young.
Did any of these people die here in the house?
Sally
died in the house?
I'm not sure Jean died here, but she was
probably in the hospital.
She was displayed, I guess you want to call it, in the parlor.
And I told one of the Henrys died in the house, but honestly I don't know which Henry it would be.
Yeah, I don't know which Henry. Yeah, but at least
because there's so many Henrys.
It's hard to keep track.
Well, if you think that's bad, okay. So Henry married Ida, and so she became Ida Ring. We call her Ida Bell Ringling to differentiate. But Henry's sister Ida married a Henry, and they both had kids named Henry.
Henry and John.
So when you're reading, if you don't know this and you're reading Ringling history, it can be very confusing.
We did that last night. We're so confused. Like, who can
Yeah.
It's very confusing. There was the 2 sisters that married 2 of the Golmars too, there was some Henry Golmars too. I don't know. It's really confusing sometimes.
Yeah. Stuart had to write down the whole what do you call it? The genealogy down, so he
The family
could
tree
keep it straight.
genealogy. Keep it.
Well, it's kind of nice to have it like you just boom this,
Yeah.
kind of chronologically go through it that way. Is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it helps. Well, this is Henry Ringling's trunk that he actually used when he was traveling with the circus. I think his initials are on the other side.
Yeah, we know it's the real deal because we got it from the Ringling family, so it's an artifact we have.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So,
That
anyway.
thing's been all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
taken a lot of bumps and bruises, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Looks good. Good shape, yeah.
And then you
So
can
that-
take them through the...
But nobody's in there, I'm assuming, right?
No.
So the house, like I said, was very modern. It actually had 5 bathrooms in it when they built it, which was pretty unusual. Most homes didn't even have indoor plumbing. In 1901, only about 10% of the homes had indoor plumbing. This one had 5, so there's 3 original bathrooms up on the 2nd floor. Our guests use, and then we added 4, so every room has their own bathroom. This is one of the original bathrooms here. Of course, it's been renovated, but that was one of the original bathrooms that people could, guests or people that were coming to visit could use. The coat closet here is unremarkable other than the fact it has a small safe there that people could use to put their valuables in there, or performers or visitors could put. There's actually also a huge bank vault type of a safe in the basement. You might want to take a picture of that because it's pretty cool. If you look at the back porch there, that concrete slab, that is the size of the safe in the basement.
That's crazy.
So the dining room is in here. Again, everything is original as far as the woodwork. The stained glass windows, the leaded glass windows. This is actually Henry Ringling's table, so this is the original table from the Henry Ringling family, as is the sideboard over there. That's an original piece. The other pieces of furniture we purchased in.
So Henry Ringling's bride, Ida Ringling, her mother was Mrs. Palmer from the the Palmer House Hilton, those Palmers. So her mother, she had 2 children, and Ida Ringling was one of them. But Mrs. Palmer, her husband left her, and she needed a way to support herself in an era where women didn't have a lot of choices. And so she decided to build this gem tailor system. So it was supposed to be made simple so that anybody could use her stuff to make fitted clothes, which were coming in style. And she ended up selling that gem tailor system to McCall's, and she became a very wealthy woman. So, and that is Mrs. Palmer up there.
So everybody involved with this family was went from kind of, nothing to extreme success.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah. And it's sort of like, it's almost like, I hear stories back then about the old rich and the new rich. So the new rich could mingle with the new rich, but not the old rich necessarily. So, it's kind of funny, and I mean, it feels silly to me right now, but that's how it was back then,
Yeah, they all had a special job. They had, of course, the 5 brothers, and lots of people ask us, well, how did they get paid, or how did they divide up the profits and whatever, and they all had a specific job. So Al was kind of like the ringmaster kind of person at first. He kind of, came up with a lot of the acts and stuff for the show. Otto was the finance guy. We don't really hear a lot about Otto. He was kind of in the background. He was not, they call it front of the house kind of person. He was in the back. He handled the money, and he paid the bills, and he decided what they were going to spend the money on, and maybe buy some smaller circuses and whatever. He was a little bit of a hermit, I guess you want to call it. He was a lifelong bachelor, never got married, never had any kids, never owned a house, never owned a car, still rode a horse and buggy, even when cars started becoming pretty popular. Liked history and mathematics. So he, when he needed a place to stay, they were here in Baraboo, of course, he kind of ingratiated himself into one of the brothers, so he would stay at their home. So when he was here, he actually stayed in room number 6. So we call that Otto's room. So when he was staying here, he could stay in that room. Alf T actually built a suite of rooms for him in his house on 10th and Oak, so he could stay there. Otto kind of got along with his younger brother John a little bit more than the rest, so he spent most of his time in an apartment in New York or Chicago, where John had apartments. So that's kind of where he hung out. Alf T was the advertising guy. John was the advance man for the circus, so he went ahead of the circus, and he picked the towns that the circus was going to perform in. And he also hired a lot of the talent for the circus. So he traveled ahead of them, and he traveled all over the country, all over the U.S., all over Europe, looking for talent, and he kind of developed a taste for art. So he was kind of a self-taught art collector, and started collecting art, mostly like Baroque art, kind of like the Peter Paul Rubens kind of stuff. John was the advance man for the circus. When Otto passed away, he willed his 5th share in the circus to Henry, and then Henry became the 5th brother, and he ran the ticket wagon, so he managed all the ticket sales and the money and stuff for there.
And he was the second owner of this house.
Mm-hmm. And he was the second owner of this house, yeah. And so how they divided up how did they decide who got what? You know, sometimes I would imagine it's kind of a little contentious. So I did more work here. My job's more important than yours and whatever. And they were very egalitarian in that way. At the end of the season, which ran from May through October, is usually when the performing season was, and then they would come back here to Baraboo. This is kind of their winter home, more than a performing place. Otto would show them the bills, and they would sit down. He'd show them everything, and whatever was left up, they divided 5 ways, and that's how they got paid. So everybody had their own share, and they could do whatever they wanted with the money. So interesting way of doing it, but I don't think they got along quite as well outside of the business as they did inside. But that's kind of how they got paid. Yeah.
Well, the butler's pantry, which I don't know why people don't have these anymore in their houses, but we have an old
German silver sink
in our butler's pantry, which if you were anybody that had money, you needed to have a German silver sink in your butler's pantry. Now the German silver, it's not made of silver, it's the color silver, but it's a little softer metal, so if you drop your china or your crystal glass, it's supposedly not supposed to break as easily, so, but I've already broken stuff in there, so I don't know how true that is. So, and this is not like, this is where, in this house they had a built-in icebox, and this is, I mean, now it's just a pantry, but it used to be lined with lead. It would have a drain on the bottom. They would put ice in it with hay over it, and then it would keep their food cold. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen a house with a built-in icebox before.
Although John's house had one of the first refrigerators in there, and it was hidden in his secret bar. Of course, that took place during the Prohibition, and of course, if you had enough contacts, however, you could get alcohol, you know. And so John had a really fancy little bar behind a secret door. It was a secret door you could go in, and then there was a speakeasy in there, and it actually had a refrigerator in there too, like an ice box to keep the beer cold.
So.
Sorry about our dirty kitchen, but
No, this looks great.
so in addition to the many things that Sally did when she was in Europe, she was also a traveling chef. She was an executive chef in Europe, so she did fancy dinners for high-paying clients. And so when she moved back here to Baraboo, she decided she wanted to continue to do some of those things. So she actually had the kitchen renovated here. So the kitchen is newer, even though the cabinets and that part of it, I mean, the original floor plan of the kitchen is the same. She had the granite countertops put in, and she put the more modern appliances and stuff in here, and she continued to do those cooking classes. Of course, it's not really modern anymore. I mean, it's 20 years old, but still everything works, and this is where we make breakfast for our guests every morning.
It smells good in here.
I just made something to eat before you guys got here, so.
So the house has 2 stairways. There's a back stairway for the family and for the servants, and then the front stairway would be for the guests. This is an example of what I said, the fire suppression system. So this is got a fire hose in it with a valve on it. It's piped into a cistern that's on the property. There's actually one on each floor, so if there was a fire, they could turn the valve on and it would fill up with water, and then they could try and put out the fire. So
That's crazy.
you wouldn't really think about that in a residential home, but the Ringlings had several devastating fires in the circus, so they were kind of deathly afraid of fire, so they wanted to make sure they could put it out if they had.
Extra
if you had the
paraglide
means
prepared
do
to
that.
put out.
This is the intercom system that I was talking about. So there's a box like this on each floor as well. Each one of the rooms has a small button like this. It would be a call button. And so if you were in the room, a guest or somebody, and you needed some help, you could push the call button and it would ring on the phone system here, and then the servant would pick up the phone and, find out what they wanted and took care of it. There's also a wire that goes to the carriage house, so they could call over to the carriage house and have the carriage ready for them. So if they wanted to go out for a ride, it would be ready, and they didn't have to wait around. We're taking down our. You probably want to see the elevator, which is right here.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, the elevator. I assume it doesn't work
This was put in by
anymore.
Henry when he bought the house from his brother around 1915. This elevator was put in. It's not working right now. That's why you see it as a little storage locker. But it was working when we bought the house. It was put in by the Otis Elevator Company. It was
That's
only
pretty
one
cool.
of 2 elevators in the whole city of Baraboo. One here and one in LT's house. So both of the Ringlings had the elevators in their homes for residential use.
Wow.
It goes all the way from the basement up to the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor was actually kind of like a ballroom. There's a maid's room up there. There's a large room for people to congregate. There was a big open area that had a billiard table up there, a huge full-size billiard table up there. When we came here when we purchased the house, we had to kind of figure out a place where we were going to stay. And 3rd floor worked out, but we kind of said to each other, well, this will work, but what the heck are we going to do with this big pool table? It's going to be right in the middle of our living room. So we actually talked to Joe over at the mansion, and the elevator was working then, so we got it down, and we got it apart in 3 sections. We got it down the elevator and loaded it in a truck and hauled it over there. So if you do tour the mansion, or if you did tour the mansion, that pool table that's in the billiard room was actually the one that was up in our 3rd floor.
But snooker table.
Come on out. This is our secret doorway to go out here. Guys want to take a picture of the elevator, you can. So we're going to just talk a little bit about the stained glass window up there. So the stained glass window is original to the house. It was put in by a company called the Chicago Glass Company. We don't know a lot about the Chicago Glass Company. We did hear though that the person who started the company was a Tiffany apprentice. And if you look at the flowers do resemble those that you'll see in the Tiffany lamp. The glass itself is kind of an unusual kind of a glass. It's called anachromatic glass, and what that means is color of the glass only shines in one direction at a time. So right now the light is coming from outside, and so you can see the colors of the glass inside here in the house. If you were to go outside and stand on the carriage porch and look back at the glass, it would be kind of an opaque color. You wouldn't see the color. And at night, then the reverse is true. If we had the big chandelier on and you were standing in the same spot outside, you would see the color outside and you would not see the color inside. So it's a special technique of that glass that only 2 companies in the world had the patent for, and that was Lafarge and Tiffany. So we're happy that it survived 120 years, and
Yeah. And it's still in pretty good.
It's still pretty good shape.
For its age.
We have some imitation Tiffany lamps in room number 2, and unfortunately one of the guests knocked one over and broke the lamp on it, so we had to get it fixed. Found a place in Middleton that did the work, could do that kind of work, so she fixed it, and she delivered it here to Baraboo.
Because when I was there, I was showing her pictures of our stained glass windows, and she wanted to see them.
She probably wanted to come back to see those.
So she's like, "Sure, I'll deliver your lamp."
Alright.
So after we were given the tour, of course, we ended up here, kind of like most of our tours, and she looked at the window and her jaw dropped, and she says, "Oh my God, that's the biggest best example of that kind of glass that I've ever seen. She said, I don't even think you could find anybody to do that anymore. And she said, if you could, however, I'm guessing it would cost you about $200,000 or $300,000 to replace that window. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're happy that it's part of our house.
Yeah.
Get rid of any rocks on the front.
Yeah, there are storm windows on the outside. That would be. So if you want to take them up to the rooms?
Sure. So back in the day, they always, in every house was defined this way. They would have a sitting room in the middle, and then Edith's room on that side, and then Charles's room on the other side, and then the sitting room here is where they would meet in the middle. And the fireplace, this is the only original fireplace in the house on the second floor anyway. So, yeah.
Messiah.
So yeah, this is one of our this is the only room we have with a king bed. So, yeah. And then I'll take you down to Sally's room. You got your keys?
Yeah.
These are all cedar-lined linen closets.
So you can see the effect of the glass if you just look through the.
Yeah,
The window
through the
there.
window. Looks a little bit different now.
Oh, that's so interesting.
So this room we pretty much left very original. This was Sally's room when she lived here. And we still have the old tile in the bathroom that was original to the house in 1901. So
And the marble sink and all the cabinetry, the subway tile, it's all original from the house when it was built.
but I suspect Sally's still hanging around because when we were remodeling this house, we would remodel one of the rooms and get it all fixed up and all the furniture in it, and then we would move to the next room until that was done. And then, so eventually we stayed in all the rooms. But when we were staying in this one, every morning I would wake up and I had this sensation that someone was sitting on the end of the bed and leaning over trying to tell me something. And I kind of blew it off for a very long time. But it happened often enough that I told Stuart about it. You know, we both kind of shrugged our shoulders and didn't make much more about it. And then one day I was in here vacuuming and I had my back to the light fixture that's up there. And all of a sudden the lights just went out in the room and I was like, we just had our house rewired. We just had a new antique light fixture put in, and I'm like, now what do we have to fix? Is my first thought. And then I turned over and I just glanced at the light fixture, and the light fixture had been turned off.
You?
I'm the only person in the house, aside from my cat. And I'm pretty sure she can't do that.
Timing.
So I was like,
I
just said out loud then, I said, all right, Sally, knock it off. Because I knew this was her room. And I figured that's who it was. And nothing happened for a very, very long time until a very good friend of Sally's came for a visit. She wanted to show her friend what we did with the house, because Sally wasn't necessarily a very good housekeeper, but what we've done is keep it clean and make improvements, and she just thought it was great, so she wanted to take her friend around. So we went all over downstairs and came up here in Sally's room, and Sheila started telling this story about Sally when she was alive. And as she was telling that story, one of those brand new LED light bulbs just went out in that light fixture. And I said, Sheila, I said, I don't know if you noticed this, but I said one of those brand new LED light bulbs, which all the rest of them are still working, and this was years ago, just went out as in the middle of your story. And she said, no, I don't know that. But she said, well, if anyone could do it, Sally could do it, you know? So I was like, yeah, I think maybe she's just trying to say hello, you know? So, Yeah, nothing scary, but
Yeah.
you
no
know, just
malevolent spirits. They're
Right.
pretty.
I'm
pretty
up listening.
kind of
Here's
just
my
jokesters
little,
and tricksters.
my little
So
color card.
the other thing that kind of happened to both of us was when we were kind of doing the final walkthrough for the house before we purchased it, and the owners, Charles and Kate, which were Sally's son and daughter, were kind of particular about who they wanted to sell the house to. In fact, they were kind of limiting who would come into the house because they just didn't want. They got tired of the tire kickers just coming in and wanting to see the inside of the house, and so it said qualified, buyers only or whatever. So here, Julie and I come along, just a couple of nobodies, I guess you want to call it, from Madison. We weren't innkeepers, or we weren't, wealthy developers, or who you would think would probably be interested in the house. But the realtor she was a little worried. She was thinking, oh man, I don't know if these are the right people to buy this house. I mean, they're qualified, all the other kind of stuff, but I want to make sure that we get the right people buying the house, and I don't know how to figure that out, and some people are more superstitious than others, so she actually asked one of the local, what do you want to call her, what do you call
Psychic?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Shelley Mordini.
Yeah, Shelley.
So she
So
went to Shelley.
She talked to Shelley, and she said, how am I going to know? I really want to get some guidance on whether this is the right people to buy this house. And Shelley said, well, let me see if I can get an answer for you from one of the Ringling ladies.
I'll have a seance, and I'll talk to Jean Ringling, and I'll tell her to give you a sign.
Yeah. And she said, so I'll have her, you'll get a little message from Jean about if it's a thumbs up or thumbs down. And the realtor she kind of freaked out a little bit. She said, well, I don't want somebody going, blah, it scared me, it scared the crap out of me. So she said, no, I'll make it really subtle. I'll just make it like, she'll just like tug on your shoulder a little bit, or she'll tug on your pants or something like that. So just be aware that if when you're, when it gets down to that point, you might get a little message from Jean. So we walked through the house here, and we didn't really get, nothing really happened there. But once we got into the carriage house, we started walking through, and the stairs to go up to the second floor are kind of steep. And so he said, well, Nancy, do you want to go upstairs with us? And she says, nah, I'll just wait downstairs here. I said, I've walked up those steps enough times already. I don't need to walk up.
They're really narrow and they're really steep, so it's not fun.
So while we were upstairs checking out the rooms and the apartment and stuff upstairs, she was just waiting downstairs. And I don't know if she was in the carriage house or just in the...
She was in the carriage house.
Yeah, and so she's standing there, and she's just kind of killing time while we come down, and all of a sudden she feels a little, and she's looking around, and it's like, I don't see anybody around here. And so she kind of moves around a little bit. She moved a little bit farther, and then she got a little tug in her pants here. And then she like freaked out, but she didn't say anything to anybody. But when we came down, we could see she was really kind of nervous, and a little, in hindsight, I don't remember it at the time, but now I think back on it, it's like, she was kind of worked up about something.
Yeah, and we were like, well, this is really weird of her. Why did she run out of here so fast, And then probably 3 years after that, we saw her out, and she had a work party, so she had a little liquid courage.
I'm willing to speak.
She started telling us the story, and she goes, I'm really sorry I didn't tell you this earlier, but I didn't want you to think I was crazy. So there. So I guess we're the right people. Well, we've been here for 10 years, so.
Been running for 10 years, I can't pick anybody better.
But that's our.
You got a thing running for more than 5 years, or doing good.
What about other guests? Any stories from them that have been interesting?
Well, the one interesting, it's not really a ghost. I'm not sure if it's a ghost story. I think that maybe Sally probably noticed them a little bit more than maybe some of the other ones, only because she had a lot of, like I said, she had a lot of tragedy in her life, and she ended up smoking and drinking a lot. So I think that sometimes that makes you a little bit more receptive, I don't know, to things. But she was a troubled soul, for whatever reason.
So you're talking about Sally.
Sally.
Yeah.
No.
I've had guests say that they've had stuff moved around in the room here, in Sally's room, and somebody trying to talk to them or something. I've actually even heard somebody give a story about they thought they saw a maid in room 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, nothing like what happened to me when we first got here, but like with the lights going off, because that was kind of freaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
You'll get some people that say, I want to stay in room 1 because of the ghost, and then we'll say, there's no way I'm staying in room 1. They'll be on the other end of the house. But,
Yeah, exactly.
And she died in this room?
In the
died right
bathroom.
there.
Yeah,
Had
in
a
the
stroke.
bathroom.
Had a stroke right in the middle of the stairs, doorway there.
Well,
And is this one of the rooms we're in tonight?
Yeah, yeah, one of you's in here.
Yeah.
So.
Beautiful.
Connor.
Doesn't bother me.
Connor's
he's the
single.
only one single, yeah.
Single, yeah, and she's a widower.
Not my first time dating older.
But just remember what happened to her other husbands.
I've also
Hey
been in a
man,
plane
go
crash,
out in the
but
blaze of glory.
That's true.
Yeah, that's right.
I just want to touch any airplanes or big fancy boats
So
anytime soon.
this was Jean Ringling's room when she lived here. Pretty, yeah. Yeah, and this one has the original bathroom with the old tile work too, which is so beautiful.
Nice.
And this one, this would have been Uncle. This would have been Otto's room. So yeah, we kept the original wallpaper, which I'm still uncertain about, but
This
yeah.
one has the original bathroom too.
I don't really have any ghost stories here, except for the fact that, when Otto would come to town, this was one of the rooms he would stay in.
Interesting. There's very good energy in here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Actually, I'm kidding. I'm feeling demons everywhere.
No, I've never felt. I've
Especially in
never
room
felt.
6.
Yeah. It's always been good. Always good. Maybe trickster silliness going on, but generally speaking, it's a good feeling in this house, and pretty much most people say that, even those that are sensitive. Although one of my cleaners says that when she's in room number 1, she always feels like she's being watched.
Well, that's not necessarily
That's
a bad
not
thing.
necessarily a bad thing,
It's curiosity.
but they are making sure that you're keeping up to your duties.
So, one thing I don't know you notice or not notice is that even though it's a house is built in 1901, it has a finished basement, so it has the concrete floors, has the plaster ceiling and plaster walls. Most of the homes then would just have a dirt floor, and so it's pretty fancy for that era. This is where the elevator, the electrical stuff, the components are. So lots of people like to see that because it looks pretty cool.
Wow.
Where the elevator comes out on this floor, so there's a door for each floor where the elevator, the doorway comes up. This room here, I don't know if you know what a pie safe is. You've ever seen those little pie safes where they have the little holes kind of poked in them, and it's where you put pastries or whatever to keep the bugs off them. Well, this is a pie safe, but it's a big one. It's up off the floor, so Nothing that's crawling around on the floor would be getting in there, and then it's got the screens on it to keep the bugs away. So interesting. It's a Ringling sized pie safe.
Short. I'm not looking for long answers. The dolls. What are all the dolls for?
My mom was a big doll collector. She's had literally thousands of dolls, and so this whole room, all the boxes that are in there, all have dolls in them. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of space down here.
There is. Gotta watch your head though, the pipes are kind of low. There's also an intercom here down in the basement. You could call in the basement.
That's cool.
We're gonna go through here again. It's kind of low, so be careful.
Oh, is that a Nordic trap?
Yeah, an old one.
Yeah.
So this is the safe. So you can see it's got the vault door, and then it opens up and inside there.
Wow, that's cool.
Pretty big safe.
Quick. Close the door quick.
That's cool.
The Trumbull safe, you might have to come around.
All right, guys. So it's about 5:30 in the afternoon, although it looks very dark out. And we're here in Baraboo, Wisconsin once again. Just last night, we investigated another Ringling Brothers house, and we're back in another home. This place is interesting with all of the history. It's got a very different history than the other house. It's not as opulent like the other house was, like a huge grand mansion. This house is still very large and very beautiful, but it's just got its own sort of energy. In addition, the spirits that are supposed to be here include a maid that's been seen in the house. They don't know who she is or where she came from. And Sally, who passed away in the home in the bathroom, as you heard during the tour, who has made her presence known inside of the house many times over the years. Now, we love houses. We love investigating these mansions. It's interesting to have chosen a couple of locations with more positive energy, where we're going to be striving for more intelligent responses versus poltergeist activity. But I'm just so excited to be here, and I'm so thankful that all of you guys join us every single week. Thank you all for keeping this channel going for the last 10 years. This year's the 10-year anniversary of the Paranormal Files from our first episode that was uploaded. So you don't really see YouTube channels that are able to stick around for 10 years like this and still see incredible years of growth. Last year was our biggest year of all time in the last 10 years on YouTube.
Lord.
And we're just so
Not
thankful.
myself.
But
Mad Matt
I
has
also
been
wouldn't
keeping
be
this
here
thing
doing
running
this
for 15
without
years.
The three clown skateers. Or whatever.
Three Stooges.
Let's start with Jeff first.
Much ado, thank you.
Much
What's
ado.
your feeling,
I have
buddy?
no idea what that means. Well, feeling again today is probably the history that we learned. Probably impressed on me again. I was thinking, man, all the places we've been, all these new things that I still learn at my age.
Surprising.
Yeah, well, it's incredible. Get to do it with you guys, which is always fun. Short of Connor being around. But no, it's okay. I mean, I've learned to accept him.
Yeah. I've learned to accept him.
Learn to accept you.
Become this thing, And no, truly, it's fun being with you guys and seeing these homes like this, the history, the nice people that run these places to keep them going. And again, just it's always fun to see what we get. It's always a surprise.
Well. Here we are again.
Yeah, here we are.
Back in a Ringling Brothers house. Super cool. I mean, also just the fact that the Ringling Brothers had such an impact on this town. They had a hospital. There's museums about them. There's all their houses that are now a theater. Like, there's so much stuff. So being able to come in here and talk to those brothers and talk to their family members, it's a really cool opportunity. And so I'm excited to see what we get tonight.
Me too, Mom.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what we get tonight. And I had no idea on the history of the Ringling family and the brothers and the sister. And just like Connor said, what an impact just in this community, but in Sarasota, Florida. And then just the tragic story here of Sally. So it'll be interesting if we can kind of make contact with her tonight. But just super excited that you guys have us along. We're so excited.
Well, everybody, it's about that time, don't you think? Let's let the bell ring.
Let's leave this
I get flip bass.
All right. These things are about to fall off. All right, folks.
Ready? It says, I control this place. So we've got a spirit jumping in probably that flexing their authority.
All right, guys, so to start off tonight's investigation, to do this in a different way, since it's not exactly clear who's here all the time or what this thing is / wants, we're going to begin tonight with an Estes method session to see if we can get some clarity. If you've never seen an Estes, I'm going to put these headphones on. It's linked up to a spirit box. I'm not going to be able to hear the questions these guys are asking, and I'm going to close my eyes right here. Gauze. So we've also got all these obelisk type devices set up. These things interpret fluctuations of EMF energy in the environment and give you an output, aka a word. We also have these 2 yes or no devices.
Cupcake.
Talking about you, Jeff.
That was my nickname in high school.
All right, so why don't we just try to establish contact and you guys figure out who's here and where we should talk to them.
Rose.
Rose.
We did just leave flowers.
I also have this.
It was said.
Oh, yeah.
And all the funerals here and everything. So before we begin, I just want to introduce ourselves. Thank you for having us here in your home. My name is Colin.
My name's Jeff.
My name's Connor.
And my name's Mary.
Open the door.
Oh,
We closed the
we
door.
shut the door before starting this.
Okay. Okay, open the door a little bit.
My name is Michael.
Oh, especially when you said we were going to find out who was here.
Yeah.
Michael and...
Who? I mean,
I can protect you.
My name is Michael. I can protect you. I control this place.
Rose was the first one.
Rose.
I control this place.
Gone. Help me.
Vacant room.
Oh,
Where we gotta go.
there's vacant rooms upstairs, of course.
Where
That
we're gonna be
guests aren't
staying.
going to be in tonight.
Or we're gonna be staying there vacant right
Yeah.
now.
The dogs.
All right, so Michael or Rose, you guys can talk to us. Whoever's here, just try to use your voice and speak out loud. And hopefully we can try to hear you. You can also come up and touch any of these things like that. Or you can touch this right here for yes or no. Or you can touch this thing for yes or no.
I'm beside you.
It's weird because I just looked up over here because I felt like I was talking to somebody right here.
Diphtheria.
All right, guys. Let's do this. The counselor?
Is there anybody here with us right now?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh.
Can you give us your name?
Fat.
I am fine. Presence beyond mirror. Gas.
Presence beyond mirror.
I think there's a mirror in this room, is there?
Rubbish.
Were you a member of the Ringling family? Don't know.
No.
Don't yet.
No. No.
Mine.
Douche.
That would make sense with Michael and Rose.
Yep.
So, did you work with the Ringling family? Or work for them?
Anyone.
Work
Hopefully.
work for anyone.
Addition.
Awesome. Y'all are special.
Thank you.
Green light.
I'm beside you.
Again.
Who's beside me?
Chew.
Tim,
Call me.
Are you in the music room?
I'm in there.
So you are in the music.
3:30.
Can you come in here with us?
Close.
The doors.
Doors are gone.
Dirt.
Are any of the Ringling family
Psych.
here? Can you tell us you're here? Which Ringling family member is here?
Using my
825.
voice.
Yeah, use your voice. Who's here from the Ringling family?
How many
So-
Hear me now.
how many spirits are in this house?
It's going crazy.
Mom.
Device.
Vacant room.
0.
Vacant room again.
Wow.
Different device. This is that
Yeah.
device. Two different.
Up in Buffalo.
What's up with the vacant room? What do you want us to know
Carriage.
about
The carriage house.
carriage house?
Is that where you stayed? In the carriage house?
A new spectrum.
Glass.
Mansion.
Mansion.
I already grabbed another couple.
Mansion. We were just there last night. Yes. We were at the mansion last night. Your brother, Al.
7th
Yes,
grade.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Jones.
Contain.
Did you die in this house?
No. Where did you die?
I got tickets to go.
Where are you gonna go? To the circus?
Got a free ticket to ride.
On a flight.
Got a free ticket to ride.
What'd that say?
Period.
Still on top.
Did you enjoy the circus?
David.
David.
Do you want us to focus on
Undressed.
Oh, it
And
has
that's where
clothes
you-
in there.
Yeah.
On the hunt.
They did, huh?
Do you want us to know something about your chest? Over here?
I lost it.
You lost your chest?
But it's right here.
Yeah. This was one of the Ringling brothers' chests.
He's laughing.
My trousers.
Yeah, that's where you keep your pants.
And I have regrets. He's laughing. Is there something that you think is funny or that you have regrets about?
Circumstances.
Well, yeah.
Regrets about the circumstances.
Skulls.
Classically Christian.
Okay, that is have regret. You have regrets about being a Christian?
Set.
Can't say it enough. Sunday.
You're being followed.
Are you happy we're here?
Goat season.
Paintings.
Horse paintings.
Are any of the Ringling family here with us right now? You can use these devices and
I'm scared.
What are you scared of?
Saturday nights.
Why are you
Not
scared
fun
of
anymore.
Saturday nights?
Be afraid.
Oh, I just heard it really
be
clear.
afraid.
It's Henry.
Is Henry here? Do you like
Jail.
that people are in your house?
I'm afraid of jail. What's GAOL?
Set on fire.
Set on fire.
Oh,
Were you
well.
cremated?
Well, there's a
I'm
fire.
mad.
Remember that he said they were very afraid.
Stop
afraid of
saying that.
fires?
Yeah.
And
That's
somebody
interesting.
come last night
Give
to
me a
follow us
call,
over.
sweetie.
William.
Wonderful.
Oh, did William come on?
Otto.
What?
John.
Well, William Otto, remember?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that's Otto. That's his first name.
Yeah. Otto, is this you?
Permanently relaxed.
I got
Actually,
no.
Who are you?
Just said no.
My name's Mary.
My name's Connor.
And my name's Jeff.
We're just here to talk to you
Great.
tonight.
What's your name?
Connor, you know when you said my name William, it said no on here.
my
Are you-
options.
Over here.
Okay.
What about budget?
Budget? That would be Otto
I
talking.
forgot.
Right. And Colin said he thinks there's 2 people over there.
Auntie.
Oh,
So
I had to
much
travel far.
so much heartache. That could be Sally. Mm-hmm. Sally, are you here?
Rent.
Handicapped
Could you say
severely?
yes or no? Are you here, Sally?
Am I in trouble?
No.
Barbed wire.
You're not in trouble.
Sit down.
What are you worried about?
Function room.
It's a big party.
Is this Otto we're
Ooh, I
speaking
heard
to?
it's a big party then. Play my music.
Is there anything we can help you with, Otto?
He watches me.
Tell people my story.
Visit.
Look
Okay.
under the table.
So Otto would like people to tell his story, like us to tell his story. Well, you're going to be showing this to
Open my chest.
probably millions of people, Otto.
What's under the table?
Wallpaper.
Home papers on the table.
Well, she was telling me
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
restored
I miss those animals.
I
Otto.
think it's Otto.
William came up.
Really?
And maybe Sally, because
Yeah.
Remember, he never married. Then you started, it said William, and then start talking about budget.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I forgot. Otto used to stay in room 6 over here.
Mm.
The same way.
And this Benjamin, this also came up with mansion set on this device.
and then the REM pod's been hitting on his trunk.
That's so crazy.
Purified.
Benjamin anywhere? You guys know?
This battery's almost dead.
Alright. We got some weird words on here. New at a party. Catch. Farmer. Anti-Semitism. Honor. Win.
His trunk's going off again.
Those are really weird.
Mother.
Mother. And then
Like no
Benjamin
other.
discovering sacked.
Mother.
Walk back.
Avoid this area, walk back. Did the Estes say anything about like not being in here?
I was,
Or wanted to
saying
go
like
somewhere?
they're in the party, the music room.
Yeah, and closed door.
So,
Right.
Oh.
It said right. Like either to the right or like correct.
so the word Benjamin came up on here, and if it's related to the Ringling brothers, there was a three. What was that?
Is that a bat?
There's a
Oh
bat.
my God! Really? No, are you kidding me?
It just went by your head, Jeff.
Are
It's
you
over,
serious?
Over there.
Zoop.
Oh my God, guys! Are you
Right
serious?
when that
I
happened.
swear.
Is it a bat?
Yeah. And I got a really weird word.
Dude, oh my gosh, okay.
Colin, stroke.
Okay, we gotta be careful.
She died of a stroke.
Really?
Yeah, I got stroke on here.
But if there's a bat in here. Connor, are you guys sure it was a bat?
Oh, it was 100%.
Holy
It went right by your
God.
Somehow slipped in.
Do you see it?
Yeah, it's on the wall over here.
No, we should tell them.
You should tell him.
Yeah, I don't want a bat in here.
How did that go right by Jeff?
Connor, don't make him fly up again. I mean, should I tell you what this Benjamin is?
Yeah.
So, Benjamin came up on one of our devices in July of
Can you see
19...
it?
What? Oh, jeez. God. Holy is that a big one?
Yeah.
Oh, my
it's
God,
big.
dude.
Turtle Jeff is gonna have himself a
We need to
big
get
old
that
heart
thing out of
attack.
here.
Gosh.
Come see it, Jeff.
No.
Let's
Come
go
on.
see it.
No way.
Come on.
No, I'm not going.
We should go look at it.
That is a big one, man.
Let's go look.
Dude, it's gonna fly.
No, it's
Discovering sacked, treated badly.
This is, look at,
I know. Talk about this first. Though,
real
so-
quick. Okay, so in July 99, a 3-year-old elephant named Benjamin died mysteriously in a pond, right? Ringling Brothers originally says he swam underwater on his own accord. It's later... God damn it. It's later revealed that his trainer was hitting him with a bullhook, and Benjamin swam to deep water to escape. He suffered a heart attack and drowned.
Oh.
Damn, that's a lot of heartache.
That's terrible.
Treated badly.
Treated badly. Holy...
Miss needed love. That could also be.
Okay, should we try to tell him to take that back?
Yeah, Sally.
Was forced.
It's gonna be
Was forced.
Oh shit! What the hell? Right when we left.
Hello?
Look at
Just
that.
that one. Just that one.
Right when we left.
Oh my god. The bats.
Oh! No, this one. Pink. Don't. Where is it? Oh my God. Stop
Let's go a
that.
little closer. Can you get your light on there a little bit?
One little squeaks, my man. He ain't gonna harm you. If anything, he's helping clean up the place.
That's unusual type of bat in the house.
It just came through the chimney.
Look at Jeff. Connor, get a shot of him.
I'll go closer. Go closer.
I can't say it's on.
Just go closer. You do it. Come on, if you guys want to go see it.
I don't like bats either, man.
Oh my god, he takes off.
Should I go tell her?
Oh shit! What if they're coming in right
Oh,
here?
Jesus, it's resolved. Should I go tell her?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go talk.
I'm getting out of this room. All right, so there's a bat in here. Oh, and look what I was about to say. We just asked one of the owners if we can open up that chest right there, because it seems like the device wants us to open that chest up. So let's just ask. Whoever's here, yes or no, do you want us to open up that chest from the Ringling brothers? Excitement in uniform transmitted.
Uniform? And that was a clothing chest.
Yes
There
or
is
no?
now.
Can you try to answer that question? Yes or no? Should we open the chest? Thing. Alright, I'll open it.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. Wait, when you say that.
That's weird timing.
Yo. Hiya.
Wow.
Try and pull the second one here.
Open it up. Are you looking at something?
Alright.
Wait, what's in the
She
chest?
said that we can open this thing up. You guys want to come over here?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
In the chest.
So, if you wanted us to open this thing up, we're doing this symbolically. I know that there probably isn't something that you want in here. You look like this.
I'm just trying to protect us.
No, you're not.
Yes, master. I protect you, master. Right, Jeff, I think you're the one that he's protecting.
All right. So clearly, it let us know it wants something out of here.
No.
Oh, doesn't one?
Oh,
You don't take anything out.
Nice spot.
games.
No.
What the hell?
I don't think you should take anything out.
Yes.
Oh. Which do you want us to do? It's okay to remove something in the box? Is it okay, you think?
I wonder if there's like. Oh.
No, Colin.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god.
How about if we lift this second piece up?
Well,
Here, you take that cycle and I'll take this one. If he pulls it. Here. Yeah. Oh, more games.
I'll don't drop that.
did you want us to play a game?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Maybe
Maybe pick out a game and we can play it tonight.
play Pictionary.
Let's play Pictionary.
Let's do it.
Should we play this game?
I can't remember how to play that.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
easy.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
I like
Wants us
this.
to play Pictionary.
Okay.
Let's play Pictionary.
All right, let's play Pictionary, guys.
You gonna play it now?
New part of our scientific method.
This.
Jeff's gonna be looking at all the shadows the rest of the night.
All you have to do is you draw a picture and then like, your partner guesses
Okay.
what the picture was.
Easy.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so clearly they wanted us to play a game. I think that's what we're interpreting this as. So we're just gonna do deep. We're gonna do our own version of Pictionary. Let's honestly turn all the spirit talkers on and let them play with us.
Okay.
Oh!
No.
No, I'm
Let's
playing.
see if they can guess what I'm drawing, what we're drawing. Could you imagine if that actually worked?
That'd be pretty cool.
So for this version of the game, we're just gonna draw one line at a time and see if people can guess, and if any of these devices can guess what we're drawing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're ready.
Communicate? That's it.
Yeah. So do you draw one line at a time?
You just draw.
a picture, don't you?
I
No.
think you can just maybe try to just guess while you draw, and then whoever
It's called
guesses first.
Pictionary.
Here we go.
Drawing like this.
Elephant.
Fangs.
No. Horse.
Cow.
It's a bat.
A dog. Dinosaur?
Dang.
Does that have something to do with ringing?
Is it a
birds?
hippo?
Pretty
Horse?
bad.
Dinosaur.
Oh my god.
That looks
not
like
a
a
horse?
brontosaurus.
Not a horse, not a cow.
No.
Is it
Donkey.
Donkey.
Is it a donkey? Donkey.
Let's see.
I feel like donkey and
Are
horse.
those
kinda
hoofs?
Let's see, Colin.
the same thing.
That's pretty good.
Behind, like an ass, like donkey.
Ooh,
That's interesting.
nice.
All right. Oh, what the?
What happened, Jeff?
Did you hear that?
Like the thing was Are you gonna have a heart attack on us right here in the building?
Familiar.
It was like a really crinkly.
It was this notepad.
Oh my lord, man! It's right in front of you.
It sounded like he was moving the picture.
Oh my
Like
god.
that probably woke him up.
Oh my god.
Your boy's turning a page out right in front of you. You hit the deck like you're being shot at.
All right.
Buddy's scared of
My
notepads.
God!
Second.
Yeah.
He's gotta pull himself together.
Just give him a moment. He has to fix the brown
What'd you do to
trousers
make that
problem
noise?
from a piece of paper.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, what the? Oh, what the?
Oh my god.
All right. So
Lord.
you got yours ready?
There's nothing else to
here
go
just a
to do which game to pick for a good couple of
I have an
laughs.
idea of something you could draw.
All right. Anybody can guess, including the spirit.
Titanic? Oh, railroad cars. The train.
I'm surprised you got that. He could finish that drawing and I still wouldn't get it.
This could be also a shark.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, Jeff, I'm taking this piece of paper.
I know, I'm ready.
Don't get scared, Jeff.
That was way louder. I'm gonna.
Well, I did it soft.
You did something like. It was like sounded like that. Well, there's your paper right there. You didn't rip it up.
I ripped it off the notepad and went.
Alright, is everybody ready?
Yep.
A lion cage.
A circus tent?
Yeah!
Wow, we're all drawing such easy ones.
Yeah.
We need Mary. You need to draw a
Yay,
hard
not
one.
give Jeff a heart
Can you see
attack.
that, Connor?
What, my circus tent?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Nice.
Nice, cute.
Those are some great lines.
Virginia, you look familiar.
Yeah, me and Van Gogh go way back. He taught me everything I know.
All right, Mom.
All right. Let's see. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow.
A circle.
Pumpkin head.
A chair.
A spaceship.
Oh
Donald
no.
Duck.
Oh, what's happened here?
I can't
Oh
see
my
that.
god. Yeah, your hand.
Yeah.
Pull your hand away.
Dog. Chicken. Chick.
Chicken! It's Jeff!
Wait. Okay, so wait till one of you guys get bit. And you gotta go through your shots. Through your shots. I'll have the last laugh. Oh, that hurts.
Let's do one more round. This is kind of fun. Spirit, do you want to draw anything? Pokemon.
What?
Yes, please.
Come on.
Charizard.
Do you want to draw something, Ghost? It's kind of weird how it's like pulling it. Do you see this?
That's weird.
I mean, I'm not even like doing that. Are you guys seeing that?
That's very sweet.
Like, dude, look at this. This is really fucking weird, actually.
You have a mustache.
Yes.
It actually, like, I'm just holding it here. And look at it, it's like yanking it to the top. You want me to, I'll draw, I'll start up here. Let's see if,
Are we guessing?
yeah.
Or what?
Okay, I'm gonna start here.
Yes. Yes.
You should come back.
Which direction do you want me to go? Look at that! That's actually really weird. I'm not.
Like a
Yes.
pendulum.
Okay, I'm going this way. What do you want next? Which direction?
Yes.
Which way? Like this? You want like this?
Are we guessing?
Yeah, this is what.
Maybe it's railroad track.
True. Tell us
It
on
might
the
be wanting
device
you to draw like.
what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see if maybe on the device it can say. Look at that. Which way?
Yes. Yes.
That way?
Theodore.
Oh, we had that last night.
I mean, this is like really strange.
We did have that last night.
Here?
What is this? Keys.
What next?
Yes. Yes.
Up here? What about from here?
Providence?
Agitated.
Okay. Are you like this?
Yes.
How about right here?
Yes.
Do you want me to connect these?
No. No.
Now, what the hell could this be? Book?
Yeah,
what I
kind of
was
looks like a
thinking.
book. And we're in the library, guys.
Oh, that's actually really weird.
Is this
That
a
is
book?
weird.
Yeah. Huh.
Let me see. Do you want me to do like lines across like this?
Yeah, Alfred. His name was Alfred Theodore Ringling.
Really?
Really?
Alfred Theodore Ringling. And he was a juggler.
So it's a book.
So you wanted us to draw a book?
It's kind of cool.
I've spent years here.
I've spent years here in the library?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you say the word book for us? That's crazy, actually. You want a new book for the library that you haven't read?
Yes. Yes.
You're very polite.
Interesting.
That's honestly
What?
really cool.
This was a new book he hasn't read in a little while.
Books?
Wants to swap out if you don't mind. Thank you.
Boulder Common. That is really weird.
That's very strange.
Playing games with the ghost.
It felt like the pencil was like actually like getting tugged. That's freaky to me.
The
I was like
trying to say
not
it wants a
moving
new
at
book to
all.
read.
And like, look at that.
Sounds like a
It's just holding the pencil here. Like, I don't even know how you would
We
make
should start doing that.
honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, but look at
Yes. 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 Yes.
because people will say like, "Oh, you were just doing that," you know. But it's like, how do you make it swing like that without moving your fingers? Like, I honestly wouldn't even know how.
I mean,
You have to-
Yes.
That's kind of interesting. Like the main book written on the Ringling Brothers was
Yes.
written by Alfred Theodore Ringling. He was like an author.
He was telling us about that book.
Really?
Trin.
So should we just go up to Sally's room?
Sure.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
I feel like we should go.
Me, yes.
Hey everybody, it's Colin here. Thank you for watching today's video. Hello to all the new subscribers and hello to the rest of our beautiful,
Feel like everyone
wonderful,
who joined in
spooky
on this,
family. As you
last
know,
night.
enter the comment 10 or times it helps the video so much. But anyways, let's get back to today's video. Thank you for listening to my little spiel. I love you guys so much and stay spooky.
All right, guys. So right now we're upstairs in the house in Sally's room. So throughout this video, we've talked
at it.
to it seems like a number of different entities. Somebody wanted us to open up that chest. Seemed like they wanted us to play a game with them, which we did, and it was honestly really interesting, wasn't it? But if you remember during the tour, we learned that this room is supposedly the most haunted room in the entire bed and breakfast, and this is the room that belonged to Sally. Sally died right here from a stroke, and we actually got the word stroke earlier, so it seems like Sally did come through for a bit. But before we do a Estes session, we're gonna do a DR60. You guys ready?
There.
All right, to whoever's here, can you please state your name?
Did you die in this house?
Sally, or if it's somebody that was here when it happened, what condition did Sally die of?
Who was the spirit that we were playing Pictionary with?
Are any of the Ringling family members here?
Do you like to go to the circus?
Sally, I know you had some tragic deaths with your husbands. How many of your husbands died that you were married to? Oh, never mind.
Kind of gave up there in the middle.
How many of the husbands were you married to?
Okay, never mind. Should I start over again?
No.
You lost your chance.
Alright, we can just end it. Damn it. Alright.
Alright, to whoever's here, can you please state your name?
Something there.
Oh my god.
Sally.
It literally said,
Could've been Sally.
Sally.
Oh my god. Oh my
Are any of the Ringling family members here? Do you like to go to the circus? So it's only six tracks How many?
You didn't even want to see what the answer for that one was?
No.
What if she said one?
One more. Sally, are you here with us?
Got one interesting comment of it.
Sally, are you here with us?
Well, there's clearly
interesting.
voices in here.
Definitely.
I think it's
Not
time
sure
we
what to
can
make
be
of that,
Estes.
but definitely some sounds, some vocalizations.
Tonight, Jeff's gonna go under.
Oh no.
All right.
Yeah. Alright, so we just got everything set up for the Estes, even got the second angle, and show the spirit box.
Oh no, it doesn't even. There. So the battery's dead.
And by the way, it's 1:30 in the morning, and we started filming today at about 2 o'clock. So we've been literally filming almost nonstop for 12 hours. So all of our gear is in the car right now. It's actually locked in a U-Haul. So we would have to go get the gear, charge the box, wait about 20 minutes, then do an Estes session. I think we're all just gonna call it a night and do this in the morning. If we do it in the morning, we might not even do that.
Plus, I have another letter to write before I leave.
Dear Jebediah, it's been way too long since I last signed my brother. Are you still living in the countryside in that state called Iowa? I've never been there, but I hope one day to see you again. Your loving brother, Jim.
I think it's pretty late. I think he's gone bonkers.
We need to go to bed.
I think this man needs to retire.
I'm going to leave this camera on though while I sleep and see if I capture
Very
anything.
cool. That's good thing you're editing this.
Yeah.
Nice, I guess.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Sing your song.
Good night. No.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we were all incredibly tired. This video was filmed at the very end of our Wisconsin trip, and that day alone we filmed our entire Baraboo Inn interviews and investigation, our interview at that house that we had just investigated, and our cemetery wrap-up from our previous Circus Mansion video, so you can say we were tired. But this was a very important, very intriguing investigation. I mean, I don't think I've ever played a game with a spirit, and if you ask me, it really seems like somebody or something was playing back. It's really intriguing, and it's refreshing
Something had your
sometimes to
attention.
investigate a place that isn't haunted by demons and darkness.
Something very
but
much
rather
wanted
a
attention
good
and
energy.
was willing to
I would gladly
play
go
along
back
for a
and spend the
while.
night in Sally's room any time, and honestly, I got some great sleep while I was there. But we still have the same questions that drive these videos. What causes paranormal activity? Are ghosts real? What goes bump in the night? Hopefully someday in the future, I'll be able to answer those for you. But until next time, it's Colin Browen. Thanks for watching, and stay spooky.
Night, everybody. Alright, next week's another true crimer. If you're interested in that, by all means, tune in for that one next week, folks. Otherwise, we will not be recording because we are focusing on the paranormal stuff here. But we'll be back in 2 weeks for his next paranormal video, and we'll at least have Twin Paranormal next week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all, everyone, for watching. Thank you all again for joining us and for subscribing and helping out the channel. And we will see you all again next time. Pleasant dreams.